All right, you guys, now that the dust has cleared and the smoke has settled, the Detroit Lions end up with the record of 3-13-1. Definitely is a lot of things that the Lions could have got better in, and there's a lot of bright spots to be happy about, to be looking forward to in the future. You know, one thing I can say about the Lions this season, they fought each and every game. Everything that Dan Campbell said the team was going to do, they pretty much did. They was going to be a scrappy team. They was going to fight every game, and you're going to know that you've been in the fight. And definitely, I wish we would have bit more kneecaps this season and got more wins. But at the same time, you know, you got to be happy for the progression that you saw with the Detroit Lions. You saw a lot of players emerge and get better. You saw Amani Oruwariye take off this season, had a breakout season, knew he was going to be a steal in the 5th round. That comes to fruition. You wish you would have had the opportunity to see Jeff Okudah play this whole entire season, just to see what type of cornerback he was really going to turn out to be. He ends up going down for the season. A lot of the players that they didn't have, a lot of these guys went down for the season, didn't have TJ Hockenson for the whole entire season, didn't have Frank Ragnow for the whole entire season, but the emergence of Penei Sewell, you got to love that. I mean, everything that Brad Holmes has communicated with us as far as via undrafted guys and the draft has been a hit in Detroit. A lot of these young guys got an opportunity to make a name for themselves. Guys like Charles Harris got a chance to come over to this team and pretty much dominate it. And I definitely think that the Lions should extend Charles Harris and make him a part of this team. What the Lions are doing, you got to love it. You know, the future does look bright, but the future only looks bright if you continue to handle your business. And what I mean by that, guys, the future will look bright. We know in the offseason, you're getting ready for the draft, but more importantly, before the draft, being able to bring in some key free agents. Now, depending on what the Lions want to do and how they want to spend their money, they don't have to spend a lot of their money on a lot of guys out there. It is some names out there that you possibly could grab. There's some edge rushers out there that you possibly could grab. But do you want to pay those guys a lot of money? Because when you're the GM, let's face it, guys, when you're the GM, your job is to manage the books of the Detroit Lions. It's not just going out and getting all this talent and bringing all these names in. It's about managing the books, being able to get guys on kind of like cheaper deals, but being able to get the things that you need. So things that you need to pay for, if you want to pay for those things, you can. If you decide to get a free agent wide receiver, you can do those things. To me, I think the Lions should continue with the youth movement because I love what the youth is doing with the Detroit Lions. So I definitely think that they should continue on with the youth movement. I think that you should get your number 1 receiver in the draft. Now, a lot of people say that, yeah, you know, we can go on and get free agent wide receivers, which is nothing wrong with that as well. You can do it that way. Go and get guys like Chris Godwin, Michael Gallup. You know, some of these guys got injured during the season. I believe both of those guys got injured. Then you got a couple other receivers out there that you possibly can get. Now, with the emergence of Amon-Ra St. Brown, that is definitely a great thing because now you have something to build on to. Now, how the draft goes, I don't know if the Lions will be able to get 2 of the bigger body receivers in Drake London and Treylon Burks, but you would love to have those 2 guys on your roster. It would be a miracle if one of those guys fall down to the Lions, because the Lions, to me, they need a bigger body receiver. Got too many guys about the same size, 6 foot and 6'1". You need somebody that got that size on them, 6'3", 6'4", 6'5". You need some bigger receivers. And I think that Brad Holmes knows that. And I think he will do what he needs to do to get these guys to the level that he needs to get these guys to. And that's to be able to win in 2022. Now, I'm not going to go out and say on a limb that the Lions are going to make the playoff next year. It would be awesome if they did. I just definitely think the team will be a lot better. The team will be a team to be reckoned with, because you have something to look forward to. You know, normally when you talk about the Detroit Lions, you don't have anything to look forward to. And this season and this offseason, I think, is going to be very, very pivotal for the Detroit Lions to draft correctly, to be able to get the right guys in here via free agency. Those two things they got to hit on. It's a must that we get impactful players in 2022, because if you get these guys in 2022 with those 10 draft picks, and I believe possibly in 2023 you got 9 draft picks, then you're headed in the right direction. And you want to go with the younger guys, and that's no joke, because this team is young, is youthful, and you want to be as youthful as you can, because you want to start getting players in here that's going to be able to be young and be stars in the league. You want a couple faces on your team. You know, you're looking for the Sues, you're looking for the Darius Slays and things of that nature, guys that's going to be balling out and playing at a high level. You know, do you bring back Tracy Walker? There's a lot of different things that the Lions have on the table that they have to think about. Now, definitely, to me, you know, and I'm kind of crazy, guys, for saying this, but I would do something radical, man. You know what I'm saying? And I know that a lot of people are saying, man, what are you talking about? What radical thing what would you do? And the only 3 guys that you really can think about being a top pick is Aiden Hutchinson, Kayvon Thibodeaux, and Kyle Hamilton. Now, I got a chance to see that Glover Quinn interview with Wilbur Sports, and it was a great interview, man. And if you think that the player that you're drafting can impact your team, then why not get that guy? Now, I'm not saying that the Lions are going to do this, but this is just something I would do if I was a GM. I know people say you don't do things like this, but I think that I can get an edge rusher later in the draft. I ain't gonna even kid you guys. I really think this highly of Kyle Hamilton, man. I really think if Kyle Hamilton was back there with Tracy Walker, this team would be a force to be reckoned with, man. You know, especially if you decide to bring Walker back, you know, depending on what type of money he's looking for. Tracy Walker ends the season out on a bang with an interception, which is beautiful against the Green Bay Packers. A lot of people didn't expect for the Lions to beat the Packers anyway. Even though Aaron Rodgers only played sparingly in that game, they got a chance to see Jordan Love a little bit. But I'm not going to even kid you guys. I just think that I think this highly of Kyle Hamilton, man. I think that he's the best player in this draft. And I said it before. And if you don't believe I said it, go back and look at the archives and listen to my videos on Kyle Hamilton. I really think highly of this kid. Now, I know the Lions are not going to do what we want. You know, I know, because this one thing I can say about the fan base. The fan base is the guy that everybody wants is Kyle Hamilton. I don't care who you're talking about in this draft. Most of the Detroit Lions fans would love to have Kyle Hamilton be a part of this team. Will that happen? Probably not. It's probably going to end up being Aiden Hutchinson or Kayvon Thibodeaux. It's probably going to end up being that pick. But hey, it's wishful thinking, man, on our end to say, look, man, I'm willing to go out on a limb because I think that Kyle Hamilton is a freak of nature, man. At 6'4", 220 pounds at the safety position, I'm willing to take a chance on this kid. Now, I know that's something that the Lions probably wouldn't do, but at the same time, as a fan, you would love to see it happen. But it's probably not going to happen because it's the notion of why would you draft a safety that high? But this is just not any safety. This is not any safety, guys. Kyle Hamilton is the best safety in this draft class. And we need the position. It's a position of need. But, you know I can make my petition for Kyle Hamilton, but at the same time, I'm just happy that the Detroit Lions are going in the right direction. Finally. The record was 3-13-1. But I saw this team fight all season long. And I just think that skies is the limit, man. This team is going to get better. This team is going to get the players that they need. I think that Brad Holmes is going to do a great job and scout what he really truly needs. Yeah, you can get cheaper talent at the quarterback position. You can get guys drafted later in the later rounds. You don't have to go for a quarterback in the early rounds. You know what I'm saying? You always need to think about the future. And that's something I know a lot of people saying, well, we don't need a quarterback and this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? We're not saying somebody to come in and take Jared Goff's spot. But what you're saying is you're building upon something for the future. If you see Jared Goff as your long-term solution, then okay, it is what it is. But if at the same time, you always have to be thinking the future. And if you can get a veteran quarterback to come in here, then okay, cool. You can get a Marcus Mariota or whoever to come in here and to back up Jared Goff, because you still want to win games. Just because the quarterback goes down or get hurt or anything like that, you still want to have an opportunity to win some football games. And I see that's something that the Lions need to do, is continue to win football games and get better. And if you feel like the quarterback position, there's somebody out there that you can draft in the later rounds that would just provide you a little help, because I just don't think that Tim Boyle and David Bly is it. Now, they probably bring Tim Boyle back. I don't know, because they wanted to see his body of work and see what he could do out there. But for me, I'm looking for talent, man. If I'm the GM, I'm looking for guys that's going to give me something that I've never had before, because I know that my job is on the line. If I'm the GM of this team, eventually I could be fired if I don't turn this thing around. So I'm looking for talent. I'm looking for guys that's going to take this team to the next level. And by any means, I'm willing to get any player. And I think that that's the mindset that the front office has to have. That's the mindset that the head coach has to have. That's the mindset that the president and the GM has to have. They all have to be on one accord. So it's unfinished business, guys. The Lions have unfinished business in year 2. Year 2 should be a year where you evaluate this team in the offseason. You bring back those that you need to bring back. You cut ties with those that you need to cut ties with, and you build upon something. You got 10 picks in the draft. Let's hit on these picks. Let's do it, guys. Let's get some impactful players on this team that's going to propel this team to go to the next level. Because face it, guys, that's what it's all about. It's all about the Detroit Lions being able to win football games on Sunday. And you have to get better. It's tough to win football games in the National Football League, and we know the Detroit Lions know this all too well. So I definitely want to see this team get better. I definitely want to see this team trend upon doing something great, whether it be free agency or the draft. I'm sure that you guys want to see this team get the players that they need on this team, whether it be pass rush, whether it be safeties, linebackers. I would like to see a stud linebacker on this team, man. We haven't had a stud linebacker in a very, very long time, and I think that this team definitely needs one. We need guys everywhere to be able to fill this roster and have some impactful young guys that's going to be able to bring the noise in 2022. And we're going to continue to keep biting kneecaps and continue to play hard and continue to fight. And I think that they're building something great in Detroit. So definitely the future is looking bright in Detroit, but it only looks bright if they draft right and they get the right free agents in here. Don't go out and spend a bunch of money that you don't have to spend. If you don't feel like any of these guys in the free agency is going to help this team, then don't go out and spend all your money. Look at the other franchises. Even though they have a lot of money, they don't just go out and spend money like crazy. It's all about being that GM that knows how to manage the books and know how to get the talent in here. That's what your job is as a GM. And I definitely think that Brad Holmes is a smart enough man to be able to do those things. Once we get those impactful players on this team, I think the Lions are going to take off. We already got key players in key positions. Amon-Ra St. Brown, his emergence was awesome this season. Being able to break a lot of the rookie records and things of that nature. You didn't know what you was going to get with him, drafting him in the 4th round. But he turned out to be all right. He turned out to be that dude. So I love everything. Penei Sewell, I love the pick. It's going to help the front line. It's what you're building upon in the future. And yes, I know that Jared Goff is going to be the quarterback in Detroit next season. But at the same time, you also have to think long term. You always have to be thinking 4 or 5 years down the road. What would this team look like? What is this team going to be able to do? Are we going to be able to go in the right direction and build upon something in year 2? So, all right, guys, the Detroit Lions have unfinished business. and I'll be back to you guys with another video. This is Raw Detroit, and you know, always, guys, we're going to keep it raw on this channel, and we're going to keep it 100. All right, you guys, I'm out of here. Peace.
Thank you.